perceive as the day, over?
Yeah, well, if you're a betting man, I guess you could take odds on it.
Be selling your soul to the devil.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so how'd the Frontiersman net go today? Any good stuff?
Oh, it was band just came back around here in the last 45 minutes. It was pretty much took out by an X-flare. Just had a few people in, so conditions weren't good enough for DJ to stream or anything, over.
Yeah, I had a hard time this morning on the South Cars net. I just barely got in, and I actually went by because we left here around 2:30, and I could barely hear Randall. I could hear you, but that was about it. I really couldn't hear anybody else. I didn't even try to check in. I said, nah, I'm on my way out anyhow, so why bother?
Roger. Yeah, you'd have just wasted your time, probably. You might have heard me and Keith and one or two others, but, yeah, signals were down pretty bad. This is supposed to drizzle out. Another wave starts in somewhere around 8 o'clock, but I think that's just the M-class version. It's forecast to be for tomorrow, so. Anyway, X-class today and an M-class tomorrow.
It's been pretty busy. And you know something? I just wonder how much this has to do with the climate.
It's just a cycle of the sun, and it's the cycle of the planet. You know, you got your magnetic fields moving around. You got radiation coming in. It's not an unnormal thing.
Oh yeah, well that's kind of my point. I mean, you've got radiation and energy hitting the Earth. That's got on a basically universal scale. That's got to be, that's got to have an effect on the overall climate. And they probably know it, but they're going to hang their hat on fossil fuels.
Oh yeah. Well, that's hanging it on everything they can grasp straws to try to hang it on, and none of it's validated. You know, they played the methane, they played the ozone. None of those were a factor. In fact, those are both lies. So, and now it's the CO2. They're trying another gas, and yet the CO2 is less than 0.04% of the atmosphere. So they're doing everything they can. They got to keep making money off this bullshit.
Hey, you know what we need? We need CO2. That's the bottom line. We need CO2 because the trees take it in. Get off the oxygen.
Yep.
Yeah, but it's not anywhere near extreme. It's 0.04. That's less than 1% over 8,000 years in climb. So, see, but those are government scientists coming out and telling you that, oh, we're in dire straits. And snowflakes that's making money like Mitt Romney and Al Gore and Gates and all the others with the agenda they're trying to push to combat this phenomenon. Over?
Yeah, those are government scientists that depend on the grants to keep a job, so they're going to say what they're told to say.
Yeah, it's government funded, just like the news. That's why they make millions of dollars in mainstream news to give you the 6 o'clock news.
That's not news. They don't give us news. They give us propaganda.
Well, it's all propaganda. That's my point. And they're getting paid to do it. It's all government for. It's formatted. It's predetermined.
Yeah, roger that. But I've been trying to tell people, there's a lot more going on with our planet that has nothing to do with us and is out of our control. And I hope people start seeing that.
Yeah, it's natural occurrence. It's done it before, and it will do it again. Just like everything does in history. The magnetic poles have been wobbling for quite some time, long before this cycle started with the sun. It's just more drastic right now. And the sun's more active, so you got two forces. And it's not creating any global warming. That's a joke.
No,
Hey,
it's doing what it's supposed to do. I guess the Earth's axis is off like 10 or 12 degrees now, because the Inuits noticed it back in the 90s. The Inuits said, "No, the sun ain't rising and setting where it should."
Well, if you go to real physical data, there's sites out there that show you real physical data with non-governmental funding that tell you what's actually going on, and that's what I'm reading from. Over.
Hey, Philip?
Yeah.
Does that mean that the Earth, that the moon is going away from us?
No.
Well, that's what it sounds like to me, because the moon's what keeps the Earth stable.
Moon ain't going nowhere. It's inside the firmament. So's the sun.
Okay.
Randy, you may not be aware of this, but somebody's been stealing cheese off the moon for the last 50 years, and they're not telling anybody.
That's because that guy on the moon, the man on the moon, ran out of cow meat. Once he caught that cow that never came back down from jumping over the moon. And now he has to eat the cheese.
No, it's because they ran out of crackers.
Oh, well, I didn't even know they had the crackers up there. Nabisco was holding out on us, weren't they?
Yeah, I just read something the other day, something to do about, there's an effect of Mars's gravitational pull on the Earth that affects our climate, pulling it away from the sun sometimes and sometimes not.
Mars is Mars ain't big enough to have no control over the Earth.
It does.
It all does, Randy. It's all got magnetic fields.
Yeah, and all of them pull on each other.
But they're saying that has something. It's not a big effect, but it has an effect, and that's the first time I ever heard that.
Hey, Randy.
I know all of them pull on each other. That's what keeps it in orbit. Go ahead.
Randy, every gravitational field, which is based on the mass of the planet, is connected to itself, to each planet throughout the solar system, including the debris belts. It's all connected. It's a perfectly balanced system.
Okay, so the debris belt, that's where planets were trying to form but couldn't?
No, that's the asteroid belt, Randy.
Oh, the asteroid belt is probably, they don't know. The astrophysicists not exactly sure, but it's a possibility a planet that got blown apart that did form, but got planets running into each other, and that happened in the early solar system. So it could be a blown up planet.
Well, that could very well be.
Oh, if it's anything, the debris belt's all the space trash around us now.
What's this supernova or whatever it is getting ready to go off? They say it's a system that's going to explode that we can see with the naked eye. Have you seen that?
I saw it mentioned, but I didn't read the article. And I also saw that there's some freaking meteor that more than likely might hit us in 2068.
Yeah, the Devil's Comet. Yeah, it'll be 70,000 more years before it comes back by. That's supposed to come between the moon and the Earth. Supposed to be able to see it during the eclipse.
Contact.
You go ahead.
Hey gentlemen, this is KC5AV. We normally have the UST net on 189. I acknowledge that you guys were here, so I tried to move to 188. Is that going to interfere with you? Because I think NATO will probably be opening on 185.
Alright, well, I'll give you some more room. We'll go ahead and move up to 192.
Well, I don't want to ask anybody to move. I just don't want to interfere with anybody. We're going to start Ragchew here in about 15 minutes, and then we'll start the net about between 6 and 6:30 there. Guess so?
Oh, yeah, I understand. You guys started up a few months ago. You're starting to get a good following. and there's